Hi, I'm Kerryide from Kerryide Illustration, and today I'm going to show you how to draw a turtle. Turtles are one of my favourite sea creatures, and I help over the summer months monitoring their nests as a part of my turtle care volunteer. Today our equipment is simple, just an eraser and a HB pencil, nice and sharp. So when I am starting to draw a new animal, I look at what makes it. So a turtle has a head, it has a body, a shell, very important, flippers. The front flippers are quite large, and the back flippers are a lot smaller. He has an eye, and they have markings. So when I start, I'm just looking at the basic shape. So the basic shape of the turtle shell, which is where I'm going to start, is a little bit like a football. Oops, don't like this one, we're going to start again. Okay, it's good to hold your pencil nice and loose, and you might need a few movements before you're happy with the shape that you've got. So that's my first part. Then we're going to draw the body and the head. And this is a little bit like a 10-pin bowling, or half a 10-pin bowling ball. And once again, you just fiddle around. You notice I'm drawing it fairly lightly. I do need to draw it darker to be able to show you what's happening on the paper. But when you're drawing it, try and keep your pressure very, very light. Then we draw the front flippers. I'm following this curve around to do the flipper that's coming out from the back. And I have this little curvy shape on it, and this flipper here, I'm going to bring it in from about there, and it's coming a little bit backwards, so I'm curving it around till I get a nice line. And here where it joins the shell, it comes in a little bit and then it curves out like this. Now I'm going to have to erase this little part here because this flipper is sitting on top of the body. We're also going to erase this line here where I was drawing through for that back flipper. Now the little back flippers are much smaller. They're a little bit clubby looking. So you can draw something like this, and then this little fella here in the back. Right, so I'm going to go up and rub out all the extra lines I've got here and work out which line I'm liking. So I'm going to come up, extend it out a little bit over, and then I'm going to do a little line for his mouth, and then curve it back down. And I can erase these messy lines here. So we've got a nice, strong head shape. And we'll pop his little eye in here. And the pupil, so we're making it into a little bit of a character. And I always like to leave a little bit of white. Okay, so with the shell, it has a little bit of a dip at the back, and then we're going to come around up the top. I don't want to make that too dark yet because I'm going to curve it up with my shell sections later on. We can do our little body underneath. We can do these ones. so that we've got the line that we're looking for. Just play around with them till you're happy with what you've got. Whoops, went a bit off course then. And around. Okay, now the shell is the hardest part of this little creature. So the shell is quite hexagon in shape. You can have a look on this little guy here. You can see all the little hexagons. So at the top here we'll be drawing like a half a hexagon. And we need to put our line coming all the way along the bottom of the shell first. Just have a little bit of a fiddle. These ones are quite tricky. You don't want to leave the space between each one too big, but we do need a little space between them. This one at the end kind of just works around like that. And we have a curvy one on the bottom. This one goes up into a little point. Then we do our sections on the other side. And this one comes around like that as well. Right. In here, we're just sort of like dividing it up. For now, we'll just put little sections very, very lightly. And then what I like to do is come back and round this off. And it'll curve up a little bit here. And leave a little bit of a space in between. Just keep going all the way along the bottom of the shell. Okay, so on the top side here, where I've got these, the actual shell's going to curve up a little bit. So I'm going to rub that out and curve it up. And then where the flat part of the shell is, it's going to curve under a little bit. So I'm going to do that along the top. I need that curve just a little bit more. Just working out where you want it. Defining your sections. This one's a little bit messy, so I'll get rid of all those lines I don't need. Okay, so the last thing we need on our turtle is his markings on his head and the front two flippers. The back flippers are quite smooth. This little one here has got a little bit of marking just on the top side along here. You can either put that in or leave it out, it's up to you. Same comes along here. And then you can just work out whatever sort of pattern that you want to do along here. Doesn't have to be exactly like a realistic turtle because we're doing a drawing, and this little guy is a little bit of a character. So some little circles, some big circles. You can put some larger pieces along here if you want. And the same with this one. And the last little bit for his head. So he's got a little nostril here. And then we've just got our view coming off the head. Try and make some of them bigger, some of them smaller, adding a little bit of interest. And bringing it down a little bit into his neck. And there is our little turtle, all ready to colour. And if you'd like to see how that's done, the link is in the video in the description below. And I colour it in colour pencil. Thanks for watching.